Welcome to Wealth Forge. Before we begin, please subscribe, like, and share this video with someone who wants to improve their financial future. All right, let's jump straight into this explainer. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the specific financial strategies that actually separate the people who build lasting wealth from those who just stay stuck in that endless paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. We're going to break down 7 distinct, totally actionable money habits drawn from top financial experts, so you can take these insights and immediately apply them to your own life.
So, here's our roadmap for the explainer today. We are going to cover the psychology of money, building a financial foundation, automating your financial future, aggressive debt elimination, the power of investing, and finally, we'll wrap up with habit stacking for success.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the psychology of money, and why financial success is actually a soft skill.
As financial author Morgan Housel points out, managing your money really isn't just a math problem. We're usually taught that doing well financially is all about technical intelligence or just having a massive income, right? But in reality, it's a soft skill. It is completely defined by your daily behavioral habits. A high net worth individual isn't necessarily some kind of math genius. They're often just someone who has mastered emotional discipline, patience, and consistency. It's really about how you behave with the money you have, not just the sheer amount of money you make. Moving right along to Section 2, building a financial foundation. This covers Habit 1, tracking, and Habit 2, budgeting. Let's be real. You literally cannot manage what you don't measure. So Habit 1 is all about gaining intense awareness and absolute control over where your hard-earned cash is going. The whole point of tracking your spending is to catch a very specific, very dangerous financial disease called lifestyle creep. You might also know this as lifestyle inflation. This happens when your spending automatically expands right alongside your income. You get a raise and suddenly you feel like you deserve a much nicer car or those expensive dinners out, while your savings rate just stays stagnant or, even worse, drops. By habitually tracking where your money goes, you build the awareness you need to stop lifestyle creep dead in its tracks before it wrecks your future wealth. Okay, so once you are tracking your money, you have to actually tell it where to go. And this brings us to a massively important number, 0. This represents the zero-based budgeting method. It's incredibly simple, but man, is it powerful. Basically, your income minus your expenses should equal exactly 0. This means that before the month even begins, every single dollar you earn is assigned a specific job. Maybe that job is giving, maybe it's saving, investing, or spending. You aren't just crossing your fingers and hoping there's some money left over at the end of the month. You are purposefully directing the flow. And when you actually sit down to write out that zero-based budget, you absolutely must fund your necessities first. We call these the 4 walls: food, utilities, shelter, and transportation. Prioritizing these categories guarantees that no matter what else happens in your life, your basic survival and your ability to get to work are totally covered. It's only after these 4 walls are secure that you start assigning your remaining dollars to other categories. Let's get into Section 3, automating your financial future. This is Habit 3, pay yourself first, and Habit 4, automating. Listen, relying on sheer willpower to save money every single month is just a losing game. It really requires a massive mindset shift. You need to start treating saving and investing as a non-negotiable fixed expense. You have to pay yourself first. Don't wait around to see what's left over after your discretionary spending. You need to treat your future self like your most aggressive bill collector. When that paycheck hits your account, a predetermined percentage should immediately be routed straight to your savings and investments before you even have a chance to look at it, let alone spend it. Which leads us perfectly into Habit 4, automation. By setting up automatic recurring transfers and direct deposits, you literally never miss a payment. You completely take human error out of the equation, and you guarantee absolute consistency. But honestly, the best part, it massively reduces financial anxiety because all the heavy lifting is just happening silently in the background. You completely remove the emotional temptation to overspend simply because the money you plan to save is already safely tucked away.
All right, Section 4, aggressive debt elimination. This is Habit 5, crushing what you owe. Here's the harsh truth. You cannot build serious, lasting wealth if you are dragging around the dead weight of high-interest consumer debt, things like credit cards and personal loans. To crush that debt, you've got 2 highly effective strategies to choose from: the debt snowball and the debt avalanche. With the snowball method, you list your debts from the smallest balance to the largest, completely ignoring the interest rates. You pay the minimums on everything else, but you attack that smallest debt with a vengeance. This creates massive psychological momentum because you get those quick wins. Now, the avalanche method is for the more mathematically minded folks out there. Here, you attack the debt with the highest interest rate first, which saves you the most money over time. Both of these work incredibly well. The real secret is just choosing the one that will keep you motivated enough to stick with it until you are completely debt-free.
Next up,
Section 5. The power of investing. Habit 6. Early and regular investing.
Once you finally get that consumer debt out of your life, you get to transition from working for your money to having your money actually work for you. And this brings us to one of my absolute favorite mental math tricks, known as the Rule of 72. If you ever want to know how long it'll take for your invested money to double, just take the number 72 and divide it by your expected annual return. So let's say you're getting an 8% return in the stock market. Well, 72 divided by 8 is 9. That means your money will completely double every 9 years without you lifting a finger. It really makes you feel the insane power of what your money can achieve if you just let it sit there and grow.
This math is what builds the ultimate wealth engine, the compounding cycle. Step 1 is definitely the most critical. Start early. The earlier you start, the more time you give your money to grow. Step 2, you earn those solid market returns through things like low-cost index funds. Step 3, you reinvest those gains. You don't pull the profits out to buy a new TV, you let them buy more assets. And step 4, over long time horizons, you experience true exponential growth. Compounding has literally been called the 8th wonder of the world, and time in the market is a secret ingredient that makes the whole thing work. But here's the catch. To let that compounding work, you have to actually stay in the game. This quote from Morgan Housel sums it up beautifully. Room for error often looks like a conservative hedge, but if it keeps you in the game, it can pay for itself many times over. What he's talking about here is the absolute necessity of having a fully funded emergency savings account. Having cash just sitting safely on the sidelines might seem a little boring, but when life inevitably surprises you with a massive unexpected expense, that cash is your room for error. It prevents you from having to panic sell your investments to cover your bills. It gives you the financial endurance to just let your investments keep compounding completely undisturbed. And finally, Section 6, Habit Stacking for Success. This is Habit 7, linking actions to routines. Habit 7 is really the glue that holds all of this together. It's about taking these amazing financial concepts and actually hardwiring them into your daily life so you don't just think about them, you do them. Look, you don't need to reinvent your entire life overnight. You just need to attach a new money habit to an existing daily routine using a really simple formula. After or before my current habit, I will do my new money habit. For example, after I pour my morning coffee, I will review my zero-based budget for 2 minutes. Or maybe, before I click buy on an online purchase, I will wait 24 hours to check if it's just lifestyle creep. By linking these financial actions to the routines you're already doing every single day, they just become effortless and automatic. To wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative question to really think about. Which of these 7 money habits will you stack first today to completely change your financial future? Will you start tracking your spending? Will you build that zero-based budget? Or maybe you'll log on right now and finally automate your savings? Remember, knowledge is only power if you actually act on it. Pick just one habit, stack it onto your routine today, and watch how it transforms your wealth over time. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you next time.